Happy Monday. Today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about three common scenarios that I hear when people say that they can't lose weight. So one of the first things that people say or a common saying is, I'm eating the same but still gaining weight. So I want you to think about this. If this is something that crosses your mind, is that you might be eating a bit more because maybe your lifestyle has changed a little bit. Maybe you have a little bit more stress. Maybe you're not sleeping as much. Maybe you have a new schedule. Maybe you've got company. So really, pay attention to your intake because you might be eating a little bit more. You might have a decrease in NEAT, non-exercise related thermogenesis. And that might mean, hey, you got a sore toe, so you're parking closer to the door. You're not using the stairs as much because that NEAT, that non-exercise related like activity thermogenesis, just the movement in the day, that does do a lot to burn incidental calories. And if you are tracking, which I highly recommend, you might not be tracking everything, or maybe you're underestimating, or maybe you're experiencing a change in food intake. I know here in Calgary, in the winter time, for example, we don't have as many nice fresh vegetables, and I know myself, because it's so cold here, I'm not eating as many salads, so I have to work hard to get my vegetables in. So maybe if you pay attention, maybe you're not eating as much vegetables and you're filling up with more starchy or carbohydrates or fats, and that could be making a difference, just that change in nutritional intake. Now, another common saying is that my hormones are making me gain weight. And I want to just say that hormones tend to be the scapegoat for a lot of weight gain. I hear a lot of women say, it's all because of menopause. And the thing is especially during menopause, when we address some lifestyle habits, we can significantly change other hormones like cortisol and insulin, and those will help to balance the fluctuating, changes that we feel with our menopause hormones. Like, we can't really change what's going on with progesterone and estrogen. They're going to do what they're going to do. It's kind of like in puberty, we can't change, the changes our body's going through. In menopause, we can't change what's going on hormonally with our, estrogen, progesterone, but we can change other things that will help us manage those changes much more effectively. So I do want to say that there is one caveat when people say, hey, my hormones are out of whack. Hypothyroidism is a thing, but it really only affects, like, mild hypothyroidism is about 10 to 15% of the people, and moderate is 2 to 3% of the people. And it can cause some weight gain because it can lower your metabolism such that it can slow it down so that 140 to 360 calories a day, which can lead to some weight gain. However, if we make other healthy lifestyle changes, we can offset those, that slowdown in metabolism, just through other lifestyle changes, with proper nutrition, with NEAT, with the proper exercise. So don't feel like you are just a victim to hypothyroidism. And by the way, a lot of people think that, there's things that you can do to help if you do have hypothyroidism. With a lot of things can help, lifestyle changes can help to increase that metabolism. So don't feel like okay, this is a death sentence, that I'm just bound to gain weight because of this. Another common thing that people say, hey, I'm gaining weight, I'm eating 1,000 calories a day and I'm still not losing weight. So they're saying I've reduced my caloric intake and I'm still gaining weight, not losing weight. Well, if you're tracking, and I hope you are, because that causes, hey, no, you're fine. That causes a natural accountability. Sev, we're fine. It's just the postman. Thank goodness we have this protection here. You might be, I really like when people track, because it causes a natural accountability, but you might be underestimating. So if you are tracking food, if you make a deal with yourself, I'm going to track my food and then I'm going to eat it, that causes this natural accountability, and it helps you to become more educated in, you know, what you're actually eating. A lot of my clients that start food tracking, they're just like, okay, this is a game changer. So, but even with tracking, make sure that you are tracking everything, like the licks, the bites, the sips. Sometimes, you know, those things add up over time, and you might have not a whole lot of wiggle room, you know, in your caloric intake, especially if you've really reduced it. So, and here's probably the biggest thing, is that you might be eating 1,000 calories during the week, but then overeating on the weekends. I had a client that was doing so well for 4 days, but then on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she wasn't doing as well. And so, you know, over the course of the week, she wasn't in the deficit that she needed to make any significant changes. So remember that your results are behavior dependent, not diet dependent. So we have to be consistent. And we want to be developing these sustainable daily habits. And weight loss, you know, is not all about the food. We want to be considering things like our sleep, our stress, because those can make a huge difference in weight loss. So as I said, mentioned food tracking using MyFitnessPal, the free version, is an awesome way. Creates this natural accountability and awareness, which is really great. Eat until you're only about 80% full, because it takes about 20 minutes for your belly to tell your brain that it's full. So if you actually eat until you're full, you've probably overeaten. So make sure that you stop. I have this saying of never starving, never stuffed. Never wait until like, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat the kitchen sink, because when you do, then you tend to overeat. But then also stop eating before you're full, so your belly tells your brain, hey, I've had enough. And that's a great tip. Eating, that's the postman. Eating more quality foods and less processed foods. Libby, we're fine. It's okay. Makes a huge difference. I try and get my clients to eat up to 600 grams of vegetables a day, because it really is filling and satiating. And just eating slowly and more mindfully, because oftentimes if we're eating in the car, if we're eating while we're watching TV, if we're eating while we're cooking, you know, we get in lots of calories that we're not even really enjoying. So try to get those, you know, sit down, use a fork, have a conversation with your dinner mates, rather than reading a book, watching TV, or, you know, just, you know, working on your phone. So it's also, you know, that mindful eating helps your belly tell your brain, hey, I've had enough. It helps you to enjoy your food a whole lot more. So keep in mind that it's not all about it. Yes, it is about the intake, but it's also about, you know, your lifestyle. So it's the consistency over time that helps you to be able to, you know, to drop the weight and to keep it off. And if you need some help, I'd be happy to help you. On Instagram, pop me a DM, and on Facebook, make a comment, Facebook message me, and I'd love to help. Have an awesome day.